too much of your time, but it's really important for me to be here, and for a number of reasons. One, because of who Jordan is and his spirit, and he has been like a brother to me as we both had parallel tracks into public service. But two, because this town means something to me. People don't realize that Summit, New Jersey is where I had the first house fundraiser for my entire political career. So in many ways, I started my journey here in Summit. So if you will allow me to celebrate a spirit that is in this hot, sticky room right now, and by telling you just two quick vignettes that try to capture what I think we all are about. I started in a very difficult way. In Summit, New Jersey, as I said, in the house party in 1998, began what was a very difficult journey. And I was very blessed because I met these strange folks on the way. And I'm not being in any way derogatory when I say strange, but I do have a belief in faith. And when Jordan began his journey, when I began my journey, we began it often in very small groups. But there's a definition of faith that says when you come to the end of all the light you know, and you're about to step into the darkness, faith is knowing one of two things will happen. You'll find solid ground underneath you, or God will send you people to teach you how to fly. And I found amazing people who gave me flying lessons. People in this town who gave me the strength and fuel and resources to take off, and people in my own community. Probably one of the more colorful people I met when I just started politics was a woman that Jermaine James, who's my deputy chief of staff here, and used to knock on doors when he was still just about a college student. But we met in Newark, New Jersey, knocking on doors, and this woman, her name is Judy Diggs. Now this is a huge sort of portly woman without many teeth in her mouth, who probably was the most artful and eloquent user of curse words I have ever heard. She used them like you and I would probably use punctuation marks in a sentence. Would you get your exclamation point over here, comma? It was amazing. And she would cuss you out, and it almost was a way of showing her affection. And she lived in a home, this old, rundown home that seemed like it had seen the worst of the decades. But in that home seemed to be kids everywhere. Young men, young boys, young girls. She just had a home that seemed to be open to everybody in a very, very tough neighborhood. The neighborhood was plagued with shootings, had abandoned crack houses, rundown things all around a school, South 17th Street School. Eventually, I convinced this woman, at a very tough time, to support me. And it was a big deal because she was the district leader in this area, the anchor, the rock, that everybody knew. She was such a colorful character. And I eventually convinced her to support me. We ran against George Branch, who was a councilman at the time. We didn't beat him the first time. We pushed him into a runoff. He got more votes than me. And at that point, the mayor, who had just finished winning an election, turned his attention to try to start knocking off my supporters and went to this woman. And I get a phone call from Miss Judy Diggs calling me up, cussing. She goes, I can't believe that! Exclamation point, comma, colon, Sharp James tried to buy me. He called me in his office with teas and crumpets. He pulled out a roll of $100 bills, slid one across the table. God, man, who does he think I am? Thinking he would buy me. Now, I want you to know something. I'm still with you, Cory, but I took the $100. I spent that money real quick. I don't want that exclamation point to come back and try to get it back. Well, lo and behold, I won. I became Central Ward Councilman, and me and Judy Diggs had the most tense but positive relationship. She was always in my face, always cussing me out, cussing at my mama, cussing at my daddy. She went back to my entire family tree because she would always say to me, I don't care who you are, I don't care who's mayor, who's council, I'm fighting. I came out of the room kicking and screaming, I'm still fighting. She always talked, I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight. Now, her house burned down during the time I was councilman, burned to the ground. And it was an unbelievable thing. I rolled out there, she was standing there, cussing and spitting, and she thought, even though the fireman told me it was an electrical fire, she told me it was a conspiracy, people were trying to run her out of town. And she turned around to me and she said, I'm still fighting, I'm going to fight. No blankety blank is going to fight, they're going to move me out of town. Excuse my language. And it was amazing to me that this woman actually held that community together. On voting day, when people would go to the polls, she would know every single person. People would come up to her and say, who we vote for, Miss Diggs? Who we vote for, Miss Diggs? In the school, she was in charge of the PTA program, and I couldn't figure out if she had children in that school or just 20 people who stayed with her that would go to the school on a regular basis. Now, interestingly, Miss Judy Diggs in probably a truly poetic way. She died at school in front of a group of kids giving them a lecture, and she fell down. Now the reality is we just recently cut a ribbon on a housing complex in the central ward of Newark, right in one of the toughest neighborhoods, to be the first affordable housing in the state of New Jersey that's actually green. It has solar panels on the roof. It's made with all sustainable materials, no composite. They use a special cooling and heating system. It's an amazing thing. When we cut the ribbon for that, I have never seen so many people in the neighborhood turn out. So many people who said that that was there because Miss Judy Diggs never gave up and was always fighting. The governor sent people out because they knew about Miss Judy Diggs. So there is a spirit in this country, and it is a spirit that we don't celebrate enough. It's about ordinary American citizens that are willing to do extraordinary things in the face of our challenges. It's about rational American citizens, as I see it for me, doing the irrational thing, and in addition to doing their full-time job, stepping into the world of politics. It's a spirit to me that's what makes this nation strong. That here in a hot room, we still crowd ourselves together because we believe in the process.